First off, I just want to say fuck everybody. I get so sick of this, and I am so sick of white people and their bullshit. Let's come in with the objective approach. Okay. First off, everybody, and I do mean everybody, is intellectually lazy on the internet. And I think that, a untold number of people should just have their keyboards taken away because they want to comment on shit. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know the facts. They don't go to the source. They base all their opinion on edited videos that the media puts out there, and then they draw conclusions. And then, they run off and go into their little respective, pushing their agenda and their narrative point of view. Right. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Taco Tequeria restaurant in Houston, Texas, I believe it was, where the young African American man, actually relatively young, he was 30 years old, robbed the place with a fake gun, which I think is irrelevant because nobody knows that the gun is fake. But anyway, robbed the place, and one of the patrons in the store pulled out a gun and shot him in the back multiple times. I think it's irrelevant that he was shot in the back. You take your shots when you get the opportunity to take your shots. You have to wait for the counter ambush, as active self protection, likes to say. And that's what the man did. However, after watching the full unedited video on Young News Channel, because that's what I was looking for, and it pisses me off that whenever you want to find a video, you can find oceans of edited videos from the news on YouTube and from the news channels where they always stop it, right where it's about to get violent. But that's the crucial part that anybody needs to see to have a true understanding of what went down. I also get very irritated at people who, want to exercise their Second Amendment rights, advocate for Second Amendment rights, but then get very squeamish when it comes to actually seeing what weapons actually do to the human body and do to flesh. I have a strong irritation when it comes to that. You want to buy hollow point ammunition, but you don't know what hollow points do. Like I said, repeating what somebody wrote in my comments section one time. They wrote a comment, and I forget what we were talking about, but he was like, "Yeah, they'll have your head on the ground looking like somebody smashed a watermelon." That's a very graphic image, but that's what that shit's gonna look like. And if you can't stomach that, then maybe you just shouldn't carry, a firearm. If you can't handle the reality of what a firearm does, just like that angry cop video about the U.S. military and being sensitive, to feelings and shit like that, and these ideas of toxic this and toxic that. It's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing when you're kicking in, a door in Afghanistan and throwing in a grenade in a room full of people? Like, you can't get any more, toxic than that. He didn't use the word toxic, but what do you think you're doing when you shoot somebody in the face? Like the whole point of the military is to kill people. That's what always kills me with these snowflake ads for the military, where they're like, "Oh, join the military, be all you can be, and learn computer skills." And it's like the point of the military is to use force to stop other groups of people from doing, whatever the U.S. government doesn't like. Okay, it's killing people. That's what it is. Anyway, I just have a problem with people that, find whatever reason, whatever excuse to not, observe the ugly realities of the world, but then they want to, throw up their 2 cents. That shit gets underneath my skin. It really, really does. But everybody seems to be guilty of this. I got to deal with the white people that run around and they want to push their narrative. The mom goes up there and, and who's this? What's this guy's name? Big Country or some shit like that. The white boy with the tattoos on his arm. He's He's such a bitch ass. Like I cannot stand that motherfucker. He is everything that is wrong with the typical American white male. You know, like there's agenda. There is no objectivity. It's just pure, typical, Fox News typish agenda, and that's all. That's just what it is. Anyway, so he goes up there, makes a video, and has the clip of the mom up there, and I do have an irritation, even though she was better than most. But real talk, if your son gets killed by police or gets killed by somebody defending themselves from the actions of your son, nobody wants to hear about how they were a great and wonderful person to you. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Okay, and with this whole shooting, it's another irritating thing is how crime is going on like all over America, right? And we could talk about black people being disproportionately poor and all this other shit, but again, that disproportionality of anger, it fits the narrative, it fits the white supremacist narrative of black guy criminal, and he was smoked, and so like there's like this cathartic release at a black criminal getting gunned down by an armed white person, and you see all this shit, right? So that's irritating. But to take it a step further and get into you know the what is the problem with the shooting? So I knew there was going to be something that popped up when number one, the cops are looking for the guy. They want to have a talk with him, right? He's a person of interest. And I was like, yeah, something went down in that video that made that not a clean shoot. Because if it's a clean shoot, they don't have anything to say. They say it's a clean shoot. Did he have the right to defend himself? Yeah, absolutely. But what he didn't have a right to do was coup de grace. And that's what you see when you watch the full, unedited video of this taco restaurant taqueria robbery. Because I'll tell you what you see in the video. Everything that you see in the mainstream media, you see all of that. All of that is there. The video has sound, okay? All of that is there, all the way up to where they freeze the frame and the guy pulls out the gun and the criminal has his back to the guy. He shoots the guy 4 times, and the guy, his body's got to react to the bullets, hitting all of his vital organs. His feet are, he's trying to, run out of the front door, okay? And he collapses. I have no issue whatsoever with the first 4 shots of shooting this man in the back, and just, the guy, hey, you got a gun. It looks like a real gun. Doesn't matter that you don't have a real gun. That is irrelevant. Anybody would see somebody walk into a store with an airsoft gun. It looks like a real gun. That is a threat. Okay? Shoots the guy in the back 4 times. I have no issue with that whatsoever. The guy collapses in front of the door, like literally right in front of the door. He collapses. He's not moving. The guy that shot him in the back 4 times proceeds to walk him down. Now, for those of you who don't know the term walk him down is when you're walking towards, somebody and you're shooting. Okay? And so he's walking towards him and he's continuing to shoot as he lay unresponsive on the ground. Okay? I'd give him the 5th shot, shooting him while he's on the ground and not moving. I'd give him the 5th shot. But the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th shot, no, I don't give him. And the 9th shot, absolutely not. And I'm saying, it's, people are trying to make it seem like people who didn't watch the video are trying to make it seem like it was all the shots in rapid succession. The shots were not in rapid succession. The first 4, and then he had the other 4 where he walked the guy down, as he lay unresponsive on the ground. But there was a long pause between the 8th shot and the 9th shot. and he's leaning over the guy, after he shoots him, shot him in the back 4 times. Guy collapses to the ground, walks him down, shoots him another 4 times. Okay, and then he's right up on him. And then there's this pause, and then he shoots him again for good measure. Okay, that is not self-defense. That is a coup de grace. That is what that is. And I mean, there was a video that Active Self-Protection did years ago where there were like 2 old men fighting, and one of the old men got out of the car, and he had this big stick, and he was hitting the other old man. And the old man, that was in his car that was getting hit with this big stick, he shot the guy, and the guy hunches over in pain, and then he comes over the top and then domes him in the back of the head. The first shot would have been cool, but the second shot, like, nah, dude, you're going to jail. You can't coup de grace. The whole point of self-defense is to stop the threat. The point, and what you see with this cathartic release, on the internet from all these white people that, essentially are only saying this bullshit because, the guy is black. So it really lets them, unleash themselves and shit like that. Is because they want revenge for all of the, criminal activity that's been transpiring over COVID. Yes, we finally caught him and we got him. And this white man did what we've all been wanting to do, right? And I'm like, first off, all of that thought process is irrelevant to the legality of how this man responded and shot the criminal. Again, first 4 shots, boom, 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 boom. Guy is down. He is on the ground. I think he drops the gun. There is just, he's done at that point. He's not moving, nothing. There's no verbal commands. There's no stay on the ground. There's nothing. The guy just immediately gets up and starts walking him down. Boom, 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 boom. Gets over his body and then pops him again. And it's like, see, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. And these are the type of things that don't get discussed when it comes to, self-defense. This is that ugly area, of, the whole thing about shooting somebody and, it's not a blank check. And I don't know what people don't understand about that. But like I said, you got all type of people commenting on this shit, and they didn't even watch the original video. And I'm like, that shit like this just makes me just want to be done with the internet because everybody's so fucking intellectually lazy. You know what I mean? You go on the internet. I went to the Young News channel, which is like a rotten.com. It's a sick ass satanic fucking channel on the internet, but it's like, it goes way beyond World Star. Like it's on a whole different level. Like if you want to see beheadings, grotesque shit, from all around the world, you want to see horrible, like the shit of nightmares, go to the Young News channel, which is the long name, but I think it's like the what is it? The YNC.com or something like that. Anyway, I found the video. I had to go to like the 30th suggested item on fucking Google. It wasn't like the 30th. It was past 10. It was like 10. It was like probably like the 12th page. Let me be more specific. It was like the 12th page on the Google search, and I finally found the video because I'm like, where the fuck can I find the original video? I don't know why I didn't think of that channel before, because that is where you're gonna find everything: car accidents, people being ejected from vehicles, 9/11 videos, people jumping out of the towers and everything. This is just all the fucked up shit that you want to think of. All the stuff that hits the news, and we stopped. If viewer discretion is advised. Sorry, hit the pause button. I didn't realize I tapped the phone. But anyway, they go, viewer discretion is advised, and then they always stop the clip like right before, the shit that they can't show on television. And people base their information on that. I went and I found the source, and It was a good shoot that turned into a bad shoot. And that's what people don't realize. Like, yeah, you can start off a defensive situation, in a way where you would be totally exonerated. You defended yourself, stand your ground, all that. But if you shoot somebody and they're not moving, they're on the ground, you're on the phone, 911, not even on the phone. Forget, I'm not going to add a factor into this, but I'm just saying, whether you're on the phone or get off the phone or whatever, and if there's a window, if you shoot somebody, boom, 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 threat is down, not moving, nothing, and then you add shots on top of that, the likelihood of you going to jail just went up by like 75%. Okay? That's just the reality. If you're shoot if you're going to empty the magazine into somebody, empty the magazine all at once. Just from a legal standpoint, you know, not that I can give legal advice, but I'm just saying, just empty the magazine all at once. You know what I mean? But because if I'm telling you, if you shoot somebody and they go down, and then there's this 5 second pause in between, and then it's like, whoa, wait, wait, whoa, whoa, where did those shots come from? Like if you tell the person don't move, and then they move, and then you shoot them again, that's a different story. But if you got these pauses, or a pause in between the shot, like, again, it just seems like, for good measure. And then when the guy leaves, and then this is the other thing, and all this was caught on camera, and the guy didn't know. When you demonstrate a what do you want to call it, a disdain for human life, regardless of how much the piece of shit the guy is, and you start doing shit like what he did, where he like threw his drink on the guy and then left. And I think he kicked him. I got to go back and watch the video. He threw the drink down, and just walked over his body, threw the gun at the wall, because he realized the gun wasn't real. You know what I mean? And then gets in his car, his rust bucket, and pulls off. And I'm like, again, you know, I don't know why people don't get about this. You got to do shit for the cameras. You know what I mean? Administer first aid, start administering CPR, all that shit, but people think that they can just go do some Wild West shit. I'm like, telling you, that it's not going to look good for the court. It's not going to look good for the cameras. It reminds me of that video that veteran that died. He died like a couple of years back, but he had that video where he talked about the fragging in Vietnam, where Marines were basically killing their commanding officers, and they had one. I don't know if that video is still on YouTube, but they had one guy who basically, he said that there was a guy, he was Viet Cong, and he was pinned by a palm tree, and he was the guys, he's done. They called in an airstrike came in, guys laying there, and he's basically, he's done. Okay, he's pinned between, they're pinned down by this palm tree, and the guy takes the gun, this one soldier, and he shoots the guy in the head, and the way that some of the Marines looked at that, like, man, you don't have any regard for human life. The man is down, he's dying, he's a non-combatant, he's not a threat, and you finish him off like that. Not even a mercy kill. A mercy kill is something like, a guy is burning to death, covered in napalm, you know what I mean, and he's just completely engulfed in flames, and so you shoot him. That's a mercy kill. But nah, this was like just total disregard for life, like he was shooting, fish in a barrel or something like that. And that guy, that veteran in that video, said that dude didn't make it home. You know what I mean? You out there in the bush, it's just you and your platoon. Oh, it's real easy to let off a couple shots in the wrong direction on some friendly fire. I mean, go look into the whole fragging thing, man. That again, like, there's the law, and then there's like morals, the general society morals, and then there's your own personal morals, and there's certain things that just there's like, again, going back to the video I just made about the 1v1 and the man code and the honor codes and the and the I don't want to call it the chivalry codes, but there's just certain codes, man. Motherfucker's not a threat to you, he's dying, and you gonna pop him in the head, just because, and then laugh about it like the shit is entertaining. I'm like, people interpret that shit all type of ways, man. If somebody turns around and they want to take your ass out because of that shit didn't sit well with them, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But all this, people thinking like, oh, I got my CCW, and that means that I can just do whatever and then demonstrate a total disregard for life. The white people are going to go ballistic. In my opinion, I think this guy he's not going to get charged with murder. I think the offense will be charged down. I think they're going to hit him with involuntary manslaughter. I think that's what he's going to, and then he's going to have a reduced sentence, and he'll probably get some probation. But I don't know if they're going to let him get away with what you see in the video. If you watch the video, I can't put the link on YouTube. Like I said, go over to the Young News channel and you can watch the whole video. Everything was cool. The first 4 shots, they were cool. I'll even give him the 5th shot. I'll give him the 5th shot. But the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and most certainly not the 9th, I'm like, nah, bro. Nope, can't give it to you. Can't give it to you. And that's as objective as you can get. So people are talking about, oh, why'd he shoot them so many times? And if you just heard that and you looked at the clip that the news gave you, the edited clip, you would think like, no, he needs to be shot as many times as it takes to know. You got to watch the video. After the four shots, the dude is not moving at all. He's out of commission. Probably that shot probably ripped through his heart, ripped through his lungs. I mean, he's just bleeding out in his chest. As he's on the ground, he's already out. He's already unconscious. Because when your blood pressure drops like that, like, it's just, you're out. You're out. You are out. You know what I mean? But so all these other extra shots, from the 5th shot all the way to the 9th shot, that shit was extra. And that's why, and then on top of that, he didn't stay. He didn't call 911. Again, all of that adds up to a total disregard of life. It's regardless of the fact that, oh, dude's a criminal and he protected the patriot. Yeah, he did all that. But you gotta follow through. And this man did not follow through. And as a result, he's going to be hit with something. And the white people are going to go crazy. And it's going to be a whole racial, brouhaha. And, the black people are going to come out and they're going to say some stupid shit. And the white people are going to come out and they're going to say some stupid and racist shit. And that's that. I'm just telling y'all, get ready, because that's what's going to happen. Because I do not see this man not being charged with something. Again, if he talked to the police, and stayed there until the police came, I think that would have helped him out tremendously. But he's going to have a hard time. Again, I can't express it enough. Active self-protection has covered it. You can have a good shoot that turns into a bad shoot because you start doing extra things. That whole you're standing over somebody who's down, and you have a long pause after you shot them multiple times, and then you shoot them again as if to make sure they're dead. That's not self-defense. That's not stopping the threat. And so, that's what you see in the video. Like I said, the Young News channel has the entirety of the video up. You'll see. Cause I knew it. I was like, I know it's gonna be a bad shoot. Because I'm like them asking questions. I know he didn't stick around, but I'm like them saying, oh, person of interest and this, that, and the third. I'm like, nah, bad shoot. Bad shoot. And then when I saw the clip of the mother up there talking about how, why'd you have to shoot him so many times? And again, all these people commenting that didn't watch the video. It's like, no, it's not a matter of why did you have to shoot him so many times. No, it's why after he was down, you continue to shoot him. And then with the ninth shot, you stood over his body and then shot him again. That's the part that I totally understand, and I feel the mother's pain on, how much that hurt to sit there and watch, this man basically execute her son. The first part, like, hey, the first four shots, you're not gonna hear me say shit about the first four shots. That was his opening. You know what I mean? That was his counter ambush, and the guy that shot him did the right thing up until that point. But then after that, again, like I said, I'll give you the fifth shot. But after that point, I can't give him any more than that. I can't give him any more than that. And even before he takes the ninth shot, it seems like something went on with his gun. Like his gun, like he tried to pull the trigger and it didn't go off, and then so he pulled it again. That's what also adds, more insult to injury. I'm like, damn, like you seem like you really wanted to get that last round off. So yeah, everybody on the internet doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's all there is to it. Because I haven't seen a commentary or a video yet saying, hey, I found the entire video, I watched the whole thing, and I can speak on what happened. It's like that shooting that they had in Chicago with them Spanish people. That dude that, that went to the house party and they kicked him out, and then he came out with the gun. I mean, he executed the daughter. I mean, just straight up executed. He shot the father. The father's down on the ground. The daughter is over there, like over her father, grieving her father, him basically dying on the ground. And this dude just walks up, puts the gun to her head, and pulls the trigger. Like, I'm like, wow. And then goes over to the corner, shoots another guy, make sure, I mean, he was just walking around, just making sure he finished people off. Like, again, you gotta, if people are going to speak on this shit, you gotta have full context. Full context. I don't give a fuck about how squeamish you are. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have full context. And, too many people, they don't have full context when they want to speak on it. I'm saying, from either side. The people that want to defend this shit or say whatever they want to say about it. First thing I'm gonna ask: did you watch the video in its entirety? Did you find the original clip and watch that before you decided to come to an opinion? No, okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm not wasting my time talking to you about something that you don't have the full story on. And the same thing goes for all the fucking white people online talking that Fox News talk and getting an extra erection because the dude is black. Fuck them too. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. I mean, it's like I have my days where I'm just like I gotta stay off the internet, like for a whole 24 hours or something, because I'm like this is the world that we live in. We live in a world full of intellectually lazy people, and what makes it so bad is not only are they ignorant of a lot of shit, history and fucking reality and facts, they're intellectually lazy. They're fucking lazy. So you really can't do shit with these people. It's not just a matter of them, oh, I don't have the information, put it in front of me and I'll consume it. Like, no, they're lazy. All they want to do is like operate on like their reptilian brain and knee jerk reaction to shit. This is why this country's so goddamn polarized. There is no objectivity. There is no, hold on, let me see the whole thing before I decide to make an opinion. You know what I mean? And even if you don't like in other words, you could have a mixed opinion. Like how I got a mixed opinion. I'm like, I can agree with the first four shots, but I can't agree after that. After that, it's like it goes from to hell no by the time he gets to that ninth shot. And so it's okay to have mixed opinions. It's like, hey, he was right up to here. I wouldn't have gone as far as he went with all the extra shit that he was doing, but it's right up to here. I'm like, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. You don't have to agree with like it's not like it's binary, like it's like black or white, like, oh, it's a good shoot, bad shoot. It's like, no, it was a good shoot up until a certain point, and then it transitioned over into being extremely questionable. Again, into all my 2A, supporters and 2A people, like, be aware of that. You know what I mean? Having a concealed carry weapons permit is not a blank check that you can go out here and say, oh, I was in fear for my life. And now I can basically, use my gun in any way I see fit to be judge, jury, and executioner. Cameras are everywhere. They're everywhere when you're in a situation. Everywhere. Hell, I would, if I felt that I was about to have to use my weapon, I would back up and retreat, with the idea that hopefully there's some camera that's looking at me that's going to be like that when it shows up in court, they're going to be like, and this is where Peter, you can see this is my lawyer. You can see he's backing up. He's backing up. He's retreating now. He's behind the car, and Mr. Gibson is now following him and pursuing him. And then next thing you know, bang, 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 bang. Oh, I'm covered. I'm covered. I tried to retreat. I tried to escape. I tried to avoid conflict. But Mr. Gibson, he continued to move, towards, Mr. Peter. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how you gotta play it. I'm saying if you want to be smart about it, that's how you gotta play it. But you gotta recognize cameras are everywhere. You know what I mean? If you do, you could be. I'm telling you, like, and that's how treacherous the whole thing is. Even with the CCW, you could be 99% of the way to the finish line. It was all a good shoot, and then you could do one thing, turn it into a bad shoot, and now, bam, you're gonna be charged with some shit. All because you crossed that invisible line. I'm like, God damn, man. But yeah, um, like I said, people are conflating their emotions and their feelings about, you know, the current state of, COVID-19 and the bad economy and criminal elements, rising up. Again, like I said before, they let the bottom fall out. The Democrats with their policies in many states and the the economy. Yeah, I do put it on the Democrats because they were the ones, with the whole, basically shutting down the economy. You know, um, People can say what they want about DeSantis, and I can tell you that, in Florida, they acted like COVID never happened. Now, by the same token, a lot of people died as a result of COVID that shouldn't have died. I can tell you that. Um, but what was I going to say? It was something else I was going to say. I just think there should have been it should have been a more balanced approach between what red states were doing and what blue states were doing. Do I think that they needed to shut everything down? No, I just think everybody should have wore a mask and or chosen to get vaccinated or both. You know what I mean? But you got the freedom folks out here. So funny is when you go back, and I had a video, where I showed this. You go back to the Spanish flu of 1918. You didn't have white people running around talking about my freedom. You know what I mean? You just Google the shit. Everybody got a mask on. Everybody's covering their face up. And I said it before, when it came to COVID, I was like, problem with COVID is it ain't killing people fast enough. If it was killing people at the rates that people were being killed by the Spanish flu, people would be terrified and they would put a mask on or they would go and get vaccinated. But because it's like, it's COVID and there's only a 3% chance of dying, like people are like, if you contract it, it's like, oh, well, I'll take my chances. Stupid shit. And then it only causes the you end up with this protracted situation of the healthcare system being stressed and the effect on the economy being prolonged. Like it's like we could have been done with the shit, but nah, my freedom. Anyway, that's all I gotta say, y'all. Like I said, watch the video. I told you the website. It's on the Young News channel. Go over there, watch the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like good shoot up until a point. But anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out.